Thank you for being so magnanimous this morning.
Just trying to be gender sensitive.
Thank you, sir. As Senate notes with grief the fire incidents that occurred in two major communities of Anambra Central District. In the month of February 2022, one occurred on February 2022. A fire raged through several hectares of farmlands, covering a distance of over 20 kilometers and destroying crops, farm plantations, farmhouses, and equipment in Akuku, Idemili North Local Government. Then on the 18th of February 2022, another fire occurred in Eke, Amobia Market, in Oka South Local Government area of Anambra State, where hundreds of shops were razed down and goods worth over 1 billion naira destroyed by fire. The Senate is worried that the fire incident in Akuku destroyed palm plantations, crops, fish farms, farmhouses, and farm equipment valued at over 2 billion naira. While the fire outbreak in Ekwunife market totally destroyed goods worth over 1 billion naira. The Senate is concerned that over 700 farmers and hundreds of traders have been totally impoverished as their sources of livelihood just vanished into thin air. In these very hard times, the affected citizens are finding it extremely difficult to survive, especially in the face of the current excruciating economic challenges in the country. Their children and wards are now facing possible ejection from schools as a result of their inability to pay the school fees. The Senate therefore resolves to commiserate with the victims of the two fire incidents at Akuku and those of Eke Amobia Market on the damages incurred as a result of these fire outbreaks. 2. Direct the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management, and Social Development, as well as the National Emergency Management Agency and other relevant agencies to provide agricultural inputs and other relief materials, as well as financial assistance to the victims of Akuku farmland fire disaster, as well as materials and financial assistance to victims of Eke Amobia Market to help them rebuild their lives and lessen the economic trauma of the monumental losses they suffered in these incidents. And then urge the Federal Fire Service Department to investigate these fire incidents and proper measures to avert future occurrences. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I so move. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. Biodun Olujimi, Ekiti South. Mr. President, thank you for being gender sensitive this morning. Mr. President, I rise with pain in my heart to second this motion as moved by Senator Uche Lilian Ekwunife. Pain because ordinary people in our midst, the people who provide for us, the people who provide food, put food on our tables, the people who make us what we are suffering. And due to fire disaster that is probably avoidable. Mr. President, here we have 20 kilometers of farmland with plantations, farmhouses, and equipment burnt down at Akuku in Idemili North, and also at the Eke Amobia market. These are opportunities lost. These are hundreds of tons of food lost to all of us, and that is a major disaster. It is also compounding the problems that are currently plaguing all of us. Lack of petroleum products, lack of diesel. Most of the things that we use to produce are no longer available. And for these ordinary people to have done so much and now be plagued, we need to do something. Mr. President, I share all the pains of the people of these areas and also of Senator Uche Ekwunife, and I believe in all the prayers that have been asked. But added to it, Mr. President, is the fact that climate change is here. Right now, we're supposed to be experiencing rain, but we have scorching sun. All our soils are scorched, and farm products are being burnt right there in the soil. The time has come for us to also take climate change into consideration as we go on. Mr. President, I join everyone to commiserate with the people of Amobia and Akuku, and I say, may affliction never rise again. Thank you, Mr. President.
We'll go to the prayers. Commiserate with victims of the 2 fire disaster incidents at Akuku and those of Eke Amobia Market on the damages incurred as a result of these fire outbreaks. Those who are this prayer say aye. Those against any day. Prayer 2, direct the Federal Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, as well as the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, and other relevant agencies to provide agricultural inputs and other relief materials, as well as financial assistance to the victims of Uko farmland fire disaster, as well as materials and financial assistance to victims of Eke Amobia Market to help them rebuild their lives and lessen the economic trauma of the monumental losses they suffered in this incident. Distinguished, 2 things here, my observations before I put the question. 1, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is the parent ministry for NEMA. It's the parent ministry for NEMA. NEMA is under that ministry. So if you say, direct the Federal Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, there is no need for as well as the National Emergency Management Agency.
The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs usually give this trader money, but they usually give the trader money. If NEMA is an independent body, even though...
NEMA is not an independent body. NEMA is under the ministry. No, I'm just saying, because NEMA is under the ministry. If you are mentioning the ministry, then everything should come under the ministry. Okay, those for this prayer say aye. Those against any day. And prayer 3, urge the Federal Fire Service Department to investigate these fire incidents and proffer measures to avert future occurrences. Distinguished, what will be the function of the fire service in the state? Wouldn't they have something also to do?
Mr. President, it is also their function. We have a 3-partite government in Nigeria, federal, state, and local government. But I am the Senator of Federal Republic of Nigeria. I have to, get a fire service in my state involved. We have fire service, a national fire service everywhere in all the states. I'm a federal lawmaker, so I cannot go and put states fire service when I have a federal fire service. The state will do their own. That is why we have state assemblies. They have to also do their own. I'm doing my own as a federal law.
Okay, what I will advise we do is we should also urge the state government. Yes, because we shouldn't take every responsibility when we are talking about something like fire accident. You can, if you want. If you don't, we leave it as it is. All right, thank you. Those who vote prayer 3 as amended, say aye. No, it has not been amended.
Federal Fire Service Department and that of the state government, Anambra state government, to investigate these fire incidents and provide measures to avert future occurrences. I so move.
I need someone to second the as amended. Say aye. Those against any. Thank you very much. Leader of the Senate.